Welcome to the Off Grid Podcast, powered by Retreat Caravans. Join us as we dive into the incredible stories of caravanners who've embraced the open road and the off-grid lifestyle. Welcome to another episode of the Off Grid Podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Tilly, and I've got the pleasure of meeting Luke Bell from Luxury RVs in WA. He's the general manager there, and also, really importantly, he's an off-grid enthusiast. Lukey, how are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks, Tilly, and thanks for having me on board, mate.
It wouldn't be a show without Luke Bell featuring. You know, he's star of What's Up Down Under. You're in a lot of the social media down at Luxury RVs. You know, we had to get you on. I know you're a busy man.
I do my best, mates, and my best work is when I'm under pressure, Till.
100%, buddy, just like the Carlton Footy Club. We won't go there. Shout out to the boys just here on the right. Now, Lukey, obviously we know that you are at Luxury RVs, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on, but you're a caravaner. Is that correct?
Correct, mate. So I've caravan/camped for as long as I can remember, Tilly. So love it. Only just went out last weekend for a week as well, mates, but love it.
Yeah. And when did you get into it? What age?
Tilly, look, it started a long time ago. Look, I remember back in the day when Dad had his Ford Falcon, his EA Ford Falcon, and we used to travel from New South Wales to WA back in the day, all up till, my early 17, 18s when I camp on my own to, progressing into the caravans that I do now, Till, yeah.
Yeah. And obviously you've got a plus one, a partner in crime, no doubt. Do you want to give her a shout out?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my little scaredy cat wife, Natasha, who is not with us at the moment. She's a bit stage shy. So
she's very busy. I heard, listen, her agent called me and said she's very busy at home. So, we'll let her off this time. But so yourself and Natasha, did you guys caravan as a couple early on?
Yeah, we caravan as a couple early on, even back in the day when I first got into the caravan industry, you know what I mean? Till I used to do shows in Adelaide, etc. And I used to travel across in a caravan and do the shows, I mean, as a couple,
like a carnival type, the Takani folk.
Yeah, it's sort of like a carny folk, Tilly, pretty much. Yeah, I fit in that sort of demographic a little bit too, mate.
Well, I can't see your red nose, Lukey, but I know that you're a little bit of a larrikin. I won't call you a clown, but you're a larrikin.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Now, you started off with tenting it, I would imagine?
Yep, started off with tenting it and progressively went from there. Obviously, my background, Till, I've been in the industry since 1997. So done a lot of caravanning up and then, like I said, progressed into caravanning, mate.
From the tenting aspect, did you guys start getting into camper trailers at all, or was it just from a tent straight to a caravan?
No, definitely from the tenting, definitely to a camper trailer. I think we purchased our first camper trailer together when we were about 25, I think, Till, from what I can remember. And like everybody, mate, you progressively go from a tent to a camper trailer, automatically regret getting a camper trailer and straight into a caravan from that point there, mate.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And where did you guys take either the camper trailer or where would you tent? Like, as in, would you go to some remote places or, I guess where you could, because you were busy people at that time of your life?
Yeah, look, Till, mainly it was just, we friends and family would just head down south region, around that Margaret River sort of Busselton area just for short stops. Obviously, we were very busy at that time, so we'd get away for the weekends or the long weekends and then go from there, Till, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. And what would be some of the things that you would have taken with you back then, Lukey? Because I will get to what people take with them now, but, off-gridding in, I know you mentioned your first time that you went camping was about 97, but off-gridding in, the early 2000s isn't like it was now. What would you have taken back then?
Oh, back then, so you would have taken your toilet seat, most importantly, Tilly, with your paper bag or your bag underneath it. Your fridges and things like that, just enough to be self-sufficient. Obviously, you got to make sure you load up the alcohol, mate. That makes the cold nights down south more comfortable, mate. But just your general camping stuff, Till, you know what I mean? Just your
insect repellent, candles,
Candles, when you run out of battery power late at night, and that's a good tendency to happen, mate, particularly...
Look, I was talking about you being romantic.
Yeah. Oh, the romantic part's definitely there, and I think my wife would have something else to say about that, Tilly, if she'll sit next to me today, mate. She'll beg to differ.
Well, mate, I guess from progressing from that to now, like you said that you were just away on the weekend, what did you go out with?
So currently at the moment, Tilly, I have a retreat daydream that's designed to be off grid. I've got 4 kids, Tilly. So, the off-grid capabilities of the daydream just suited me down to a T, mate. But went down south once again just for a bit of escape away from work, so to speak.
Yeah. Where did you actually go, Lukey, for someone that's not familiar with WA like myself and, many people that'll be watching?
Yeah, so look, I went just a bit of a short stint, Tilly, probably about 3 hours south of where we are. I just went down to Bustleton, just laid back in Bustleton there, enjoyed a few of the wineries and a few of the breweries down there, and did a bit of push bike riding and mountain bike riding with the kids.
Yeah, I actually heard about this, Lukey. Now, is there any truth to the rumor that you were riding your bike, you tried to do a bit of a stunt, so to speak, and you may have fallen over?
It's purely speculation at this point, Tilly, and rumours, of course, mate. But there might be rumour floating around that, Dad had to step up and show his kids how to go around a BMX track and do a jump. And yes, I do have some scars to prove the injuries, mate. So for anyone listening out there, if you go mountain bike riding, make sure you wear a helmet.
Very, very safe words, Luke. I've got one more question to ask, though. Was alcohol involved?
I would be probably a few stubbies into the exercise, Tilly, for sure, mate. Yes.
Well, there you go, kids. Trying to be a lunatic, definitely not drinking, and trying to show off in front of your mates or your family, not recommended without a helmet. Put a helmet on at least.
Yeah, it was a very good jump, though, Tilly. Let me tell you, mate. I just missed it the landing.
Did anyone get a footage so we could put it onto this podcast?
No, there's none, mate, unfortunately. There is scars to prove it, but they're there for another day, Till.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Now, you mentioned you got 4 kids, and including yourself, that's a starting lineup in a basketball team. But the kids, how old are they, Luke?
So my oldest is 16, going down 14, 12, and 10.
So from 16 to 10, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty busy lifestyle for kids. At that age, I've got 3 kids in sort of that area as well. iPad, iPhone, Bluetooth speakers, Wi-Fi, they're all necessities. How do you take that away from the kids when you're going completely off grid?
Look, Till, it's one of those things, we have a bit of a rule within our family that when we go camping or we go off grid or we go away, we sort of leave a bit of that stuff behind and just get back to where we need to be. A bit of a settler, so to speak, just so we can get back to, being a family again, mate. Because obviously everyday life sort of takes a bit of that stuff away from you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. So you completely unplug yourself, so to speak, from life and go off grid.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Nice work. And I asked the question before about, when you were in your camper trailer or when you were tenting, what did you take? What kind of a camping experience now did you have in your most recent travel with a Daydream?
The camping experience is really good, Till. So, obviously the mod cons now with everything the van has makes not so much camping anymore. It's glamping, so to speak. And we hear that that cliche put around a few times, but it's definitely a lot different to what it used to be. So progressively, my kids are a bit more sport than what I was as a youngster with all the mod cons that we have in the van nowadays, Tilly. So I don't leave home without pretty much anything apart from their iPads and their social media gear, mate.
So you didn't take the toilet seat then, Luke?
No, well, this one already comes pre-packed with the toilet seat already to go, mate.
Yeah,
so I didn't have to take that one this time, mate.
But you think about the things right now. I know you don't mind your coffees, right? So having a coffee back in the day when you were off gridding in a camper van or be it, in your tent, you'd have to literally boil a pot, or get that all going by hand. How did you tackle that in the Daydream?
Yeah, it's a bit struggling actually, Till. So back in the day, you would have to boil your pot. You'd have to do your instant. Now going back to it, so I have my nice espresso machine sitting on my kitchen bench top, mate. That's ready to be used when I want to use it, mate. So going back to the creature comfort still.
100%. And even if you were connected to power or if you were off grid in Bustleton, you could use it irrespectively. Is that right?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Well, and I guess that's kind of like where our world is heading to, completely off grid. Now we know the retreat caravan and the Daydream and the ERV have that lifestyle. There's many more caravans in the industry, not just retreat caravans that offer that off grid living. So I guess there's a lot more options out there for people, like with coffee machines. And Lukey, can you just turn sideways for a sec? Just turn this way. Yeah, see, look at that. You got a fresh fade, so no doubt you'd be using a hair blower, hair dryer, straightener, all that sort of stuff. So knowing that you can go away and look $1 million like yourself, whether you're completely off grid or you're connected to a caravan park, it's pretty amazing, don't you think?
It's very amazing, Tilly. And let me just say, mate, this look doesn't come easy, mate. It takes a bit of time to get there, Till. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
normally fighting the wife for the bathroom space, mate, to try and get the gel in the hair and all those bits and pieces. But no, you're right, Tilly. The way that vans and the industry has progressed in regards to the off-grid capabilities, mate, people can be off-grid and still have all those creature comforts and the reliabilities of what you would have if you were exactly plugged into a caravan park or anything like that, mate. So it makes life a lot easier, Tilly.
Yeah, nice. Now, Lukey, you're a busy man. I know that. You've said that a few times, but I actually know you're a busy man because
Yeah.
it's not, every second night I'm getting a phone call at like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock our time, which is, end of the day, your time over there in WA. So I know that if that's when you're calling me as a first phone call, I know you're busy. How do you juggle being a general manager of probably one of the biggest dealerships in WA, as well as keeping your 4 kids entertained, as well as keeping the missus happy and having this off-grid lifestyle that you crave? How do you do it all?
Oh, look, it's very much a juggling act, Tilly. I won't deny. The old saying, every good man has a good wife behind him. Although she's not here, Tilly, and she can't hear me say this wholeheartedly, I mean, I have a good wife behind me. But it is a battle, Tilly. Just a good family unit, good family core, and the principles surrounding that, mate. So it's not easy. It's definitely hard, Tilly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you have the opportunity for yourself or Natasha to work from home when you're away camping as well?
Yeah, definitely off grid. I've always got that aspect where we can obviously work from home or work away, I should say, whether it be home or work away. It makes life a lot easier. Having the van that we have and the creatures or the comforts that we have in the vans now will allow that to happen. Still, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to have that flexibility, obviously, Lukey, when you need it, especially over Christmas and school holiday time.
Yep, absolutely, mate. It makes it much easier.
So, where are the top 3 places that you've been, be it in WA or around Australia with your family camping, caravanning, tenting it, wherever it is?
Yeah, look, there's a heap of different places, Tilly. To list a few off the top of my head, I always love to get away to Esperance, mate, which is obviously down south. As much as I love to go up north to Coral Bay and just completely just get away from everything, Till. You know what I mean? So to the wildflowers in the wheat belt. There's so much to see and do. It's unbelievable. Every opportunity I get, Tilly, I'm trying to get out of here. Not that I'm trying to escape business, but just trying to explore and do the things, and have those experiences so I can talk and liaise to people in regards to it. It's the lifestyle, Tilly. I love the lifestyle, mate.
Luke, I tell you what, not quite the Lara Bingle promotional for Australia, but you didn't do that bad. Where the bloody hell are you? But come to WA, you did not bad.
I'll try.
If your premier is listening, obviously loosen up on the COVID rules first of all, but maybe take Luke as an ambassador role of visit WA.
Well, this is it, mate. I do my best. It's all well and good, Tilly. Sometimes trying to run a dealership and talk shop or talk business with customers. But unless you've been out there and done it, and you can liaise with those people, you've got that familiar talking point with customers that we all out there. We're all caravanners.
Yeah, correct. You're connecting on where they're going to go or where they're planning to go.
Correct. Absolutely, mate.
And where are you planning to go, Luke? So where's the next, let's call it the next planned big trip for the Bells?
The next planned big trip for me. So as you know, Jill, I've been trying to get to Darwin. Best time of year for me to travel to Darwin's probably around about the end of financial year, around that June, July area. So around June, July, I'll probably, take a bit of time off and take the family and we'll trek across and hopefully go through the centre this time and go up to Darwin, Northern Territory.
Nice. Well, we'll hopefully follow your journey around there as well.
Hopefully, mate. Fingers crossed.
So, Lukey, if you're going to give any advice to people who want to do a big trip, whether it be to Darwin, WA, from WA all the way to Melbourne and go down the Great Ocean Road, what advice would you give them in as far as planning for an order of a caravan? So, if I'm about to order a caravan at Luxury RVs, what are the things that I'd need to consider? Obviously, knowing that I'm going to be off grid for periods of time.
Yeah, look, obviously planning your trip and having a bit of an understanding on where you're going to go, you know what I mean? what the trip looks like. So if you're going to stay on the black top, then necessarily, you can do that. But off grid, obviously, just setting up the van for what you need as a person or a family. You know what I mean? A lot of the times, don't overthink it. It's a lot more simpler than what it needs to be, Tilly. But definitely do a bit of research, have a bit of a look, see what you need in your trip and what your expectations are. Yeah.
Gotcha. And from people that you speak to throughout every single day, are there any appliances that you recommend that, are must-haves when going off-grid?
Oh, look, it's a bit different, Tilly. My wife can definitely vouch for this van, or this as an upgrade, Till. Going down south, we had a nice toasty ducted Truma heater in our van, so it made it nice and toasty because it was very wet down south. But moving forward now, in the instantaneous gas hot water systems, my wife can spend as much time as she wants to a certain degree inside it without running out of hot water. So from a creature comfort from her point of view, she loves that, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. And as far as getting to certain terrain, is there, the foundation of a caravan, much like a house, is probably the most important part. Anything that you'd recommend for your customers or people just thinking about doing a big lap around of Australia?
Just obviously just be mindful where you're going to go. Obviously, your different types of suspension, Tilly. Like I always say to people, don't limit yourself. If you're looking for an on-road van, don't limit yourself to a B-Maxwell van in that sense of it, because you never know. You don't want to be held back on that track. If you wish you could go down there, but you can't because you've got a B-Maxwell van. So maybe just think about what you're doing in that sense of it, Till. Other than that, the biggest thing I can say to anybody is just get out there and start doing it. There's so much to see, so much to do. Just love it. Love Australia, Till. Love traveling.
Absolutely, mate. And I love your passion about traveling as well. I wish I had the time that you had to actually go away in a caravan, but maybe our viewers, I'm not sure if it's come out just yet, but it'll come out soon. They can see me towing a caravan on the tough tested series. So that'd be interesting.
I'd love to see that too, Tilly. Don't worry, mate.
It's coming, Luke. I just can't give anything away just yet.
Fair enough, mate.
So, Lukey, you told us all about your off-grid experiences and, all the customers that come in and ask you all these questions planning their trips. If there is someone who wants to plan a trip and they want an off-grid caravan, where do they go and find you guys?
Yeah, Tilly, you can reach out on Facebook or Instagram or Luxury RVs WA.com.au. Mate, we cater for all types of off-road capabilities, whether it's a second-hand camper trailer, all the way up to all the leading brands we have, such as Urban Retreat Caravans, Network RV. So one-stop shop, off-grid, off-road specialist, Tilly. Come and find us, mate.
Fantastic, bud. And you also do services there as well?
We do services, full workshop, insurance, the whole lot, Tilly. It's a one-stop shop.
Definitely a one-stop shop. Lukey, it's been a pleasure having you on the Off-Grid podcast, and I can't wait to eventually one day get off-grid with you and the family. But thank you very much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next episode of the Off-Grid podcast. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Off-Grid podcast. If you're passionate about off-grid adventures and have a unique story, we'd love to have you on as a guest. Connect with us to share your experiences and inspire others with your off-grid journey. Remember, life is an adventure meant to be lived off the grid. Don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories, helpful tips, and exciting adventures. This is the Off-Grid podcast, powered by Retreat Caravans.